Hey everyone, this is Jonathan from Guitar Player Academy here, and today we're going over how to play the blues. This is probably going to be a multi-part series because there's a lot to unpack. If you find this video at all helpful, please hit the like button on this video, and while you're on the channel, you might as well subscribe and check out all the other videos, and if you like it, make sure to hit that notification bell so that you never miss a Guitar Player Academy video again, right? So, we have to talk about a few things. What is the blues? What's the blues form look like? And how to play it, right? A lot of these concepts we're going to be breaking down here, I've talked about in past videos. So all of those past videos, which is going to be the arpeggiations, the 5 best arpeggiation series, part 1 and 2, that's going to be linked in the description. And then the fundamentals on how to solo, because I go over some blues stuff in there, right? That's part 1 of the How to Solo series. So it's part 1 and 2 of the arpeggiations, best arpeggiations to know, and then you have part 1 of the entire How to Solo series. While you're on the series, you might as well check it out. I'm going to plan on continuing it. I want to take a short break to talk about some other things, but we do plan on coming back to the How to Solo series. So without further ado, let's break down what the blues is. The blues is a type of genre of music that is really pretty much the basis of everything we know today. Right? When you talk about jazz, when you talk about pop music, when you talk about country, all of it started in some way, shape, or form. It fed into the blues, right? The blues is basically a progression, a song progression, a chord progression of 3 chords. The 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. That's pretty much it. If you're playing a major blues, a major style blues, it is 1 dominant 7, 4 dominant 7, and 5 dominant 7. What do I mean by 1, 4, 5? I'm talking about degrees of the scale. So if I'm in the key of G, which today we are, and you said play a G blues, I'm thinking of G as the root, C as the 4, right? Because it's G, A, B, C, oh, 4th note, and then the 5th note is D7, which is the 5-7. So again, 1, 4-7, 5-7, 1-7. That's it. And in the minor blues, right, it's 1 minor 7, 2 minor 7, and then, or excuse me, 1 minor 7, 4 minor 7, 5 dominant 7. We're going to be talking about that in a separate video, but we're really going to be focusing on the major blues in today's video. So, I'm not going to go over each arpeggiation because we've already gone over it, but just know that there's 3 things you want to keep in mind when playing a major blues. The minor pentatonic scale, which is right, that's in our How to Solo series. Then you have the major pentatonic scale, again in our How to Solo series, right? One, two, three, 4. And then you have the arpeggiations of what a dominant 7 chord is, right? Which is your 1, your major 3rd, your 5th, and your flat 7. Those are the 3 main concepts. Today, we're going to really take on the challenge and really try to blend all 3 of those together. It's great to use the minor pentatonic scale. It gives you a lot of blues notes. But here's the problem. You can't end on a minor type chord tone. For example, if you were to play dominant 7 and then on the minor 3rd, not going to fly. Right? It's just not going to fly for you. Very similarly, with the major pentatonic, it's great, but it's a little square, right? I mean, it's pretty safe. We don't really go anywhere. The best thing that I find to do is to combine the licks that you would play in your minor and major pentatonic scales and end on the chord tones of each chord you're on. So that begs the question, what is a blues form? Well, today we're going to go over the 12-bar blues, which is pretty much the most universal and standard one. And so we'll just break it down here. The first 4 bars, there's 12 bars in total, hence 12-bar blues. The first 4 bars is the 1 dominant 7 chord. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Now we gotta move. We're gonna go to the 4 dominant 7 chord for 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, back to 1, 1, 2 for 2 bars, 2, 2, 3, 4. Here's the turnarounds. We're gonna go back to the 5, 7 for 1 bar, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 4, 7 for 1 bar, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 for that turnaround, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Very slowly now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Bar 4 to 5. Here you go. Back to the 1 chord. To the 5th, 4th, 5th. Right? That's our 12-bar blues. So when you're playing your minor pentatonic, your major pentatonic licks, if I'm on this type of chord, the 1, 7 here, I'm not going to end on a B flat here. I'm going to slide up to play a B natural. So everyone knows I know what chord we're on. And if you want to go to the B flat later to complement the flat 7 of the C, you can. I know, sounds like a lot, and it's pretty overwhelming at first, but you really just want to pay attention to listening to the greats, listen back to some of your favorite recordings, B.B. King, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Buddy Guy, right? The list goes on and on and on and on. John Mayer has some great stuff, right? But it's all about combining your licks and ending on the chord tones. So let's give some examples. We're playing a G blues here with a little bit of a shuffle, and we're about to go to the 4 chord. So how am I going to start? That lick was a G pentatonic, but I made sure to emphasize the flat 7 and the 1 of C, which was B flat to C. Let's think of something else here. Right? I'm really thinking of the chord tones here, but I'm allowing myself to kind of almost make mistakes, right? If I'm, you know, that B flat didn't sound that great, but I bent it, right? And I create tension and release. That concept never escapes us in soloing, right? It'll never escape us. So let's create some phrases now. The 5. Right? You don't have to play a lot of notes. You can do the B.B. King approach. Right? All I'm doing is thinking of my G pentatonic scale and then ending on chord tones. So, right, that's the 3rd of C to the 5th of G. Right? Dynamics, a huge part. not just the notes you play, it's how you play them. But all I'm thinking of is, right, to 1, to 5, 4, 1. And then using my scales, major or minor pentatonics, as a way to fill in those gaps. That's really how you want to think of it, right? Your end goal are those chord tones. But how are you going to get there, right? Are you going to take the boring route and just, the blues wouldn't sound fun if it's... Right? Wouldn't be fun. How are you going to get there? Well, you got to use the scale. Right? Call and response. You want to create your own call and response too. That's huge in blues, right? Right? Let's try that. Right? But all I'm doing is, again, filling in those chord tones and creating a journey, creating a story, tension and release. We've talked about a lot in the How to Solo series. It's huge, right? But the only way to figure out what notes you're supposed to land on is to know the arpeggiations of each chord. But there are some things conceptually that we can think of, right? Again, dynamics we talked about. Not everything is, right? No, God, that would annoy the entire band, right? But if you do, right? Add some dynamics. All right, now you're telling a story, right? I always heard a great example of just solid dynamic work. If your audience isn't paying attention and you can make them lean in on their seats like this, and they're really trying to listen in, not to an obnoxious level of like, okay, we just can't hear the band. Not talking about that. But if you're really drawing them in and they kind of got the seat lean going, you have them, right? You got them under control with dynamics. Phrasing, which we've talked about before, is huge in the blues. Call and response. That's huge. That's part of how the blues started. Call and response. Allowing space, letting the song breathe. Everyone can go, right? But that say much? No, right? You really want to emphasize what you're saying, and sometimes less is more. Actually, a lot of times less is more, right? And that's pretty much it. That's kind of a very broad overview of the blues. I would say the number one thing to go home and do is just put on a music streaming service and just listen. Blues was an oral tradition, right? You heard it. Blues players would sometimes, most of the time, not even write the music down way back when it first started, and it would just be like an art form, like a conversation. And that's what you want your blues playing to turn into. It's a conversation between you as a soloist and the band. It's not just a one-man show. It's you and the band. So just keep that in mind. If you found this video at all helpful, please like it while you're checking out the channel. Maybe checking out some of those other videos referenced. You might as well subscribe. And just so you don't miss another Guitar Player Video Academy video again, sorry, still on the blues here, make sure to hit that notification bell. And with that, I hope you guys keep coming back and keep on shedding, because we want to make you the best guitar player that you can be.